Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I heard a lot of risks this morning, risk of global warming, risks of inflation, all kinds of risks. And we all know when there are risks, there are also opportunities. And we are going to take these opportunities. This is a team recently formed. It's a mixture of different people from different nationalities with different backgrounds. Now you know Jochem, Zhenya, Michael, Roman, Jeroen, Eizo, myself, Paulina, and Casper. So it's a mixture of German, Russian, Dutch. Casper and I are managing the team. The investment committee is formed by Casper, myself, Jochem, and Michael. I will tell a little bit about Casper and myself before I will go into more details about the fund. We are working together for 20 years, so it's a pretty long time. We started in Russia 20 years ago and have done over 30 investments in Russia. I will not go into detail, but the track record, I mean, most of them are above zero, so it's pretty good. Some of them are really good. We have done different forms of exits, including IPOs, strategic sales, management buyouts, and so on. So I think we have quite a good Russian experience. But in 2007, we decided to move into Cleantech. I already was active in Cleantech a little bit before. In 2001, 2002, I joined a small energy service company, which at that time didn't know it was an energy service company. But it turned out to be one, and that company is now doing these kind of projects. We are changing complete existing buildings into energy efficient buildings. And Dieter, it is a growing market. Despite of the fact that the construction business is going down, these kind of projects are really taking off. We have a huge pipeline in that company. Company is growing. When we started, we had 20 people. We have now over 250 people working in the Netherlands, Germany, and France. So that's quite a successful company. Unfortunately, of course, we also have our failures. That's the one with the, I think it's a lady in the white, what is it, uniform or whatever. It was a company with a big potential. Active in semiconductor industry for LED industry, and that company didn't make it. We learned a lot about that, and I don't want to spoil the pre-lunch session for that, but maybe later on we can share those views. The other four are doing pretty well. The electric scooters, some of you might have used them already. The tidal energy company just received fresh money at a higher valuation. About this company, it's a power optimizer. I have it at home, 28% higher return of my system. You get a presentation this afternoon. And geothermal heat pumps, we are great believers in that. You will have a presentation of another company we are not invested in, but with similar technology, also this afternoon. So very short, most of our companies are in the plus, also in the Cleantech space, except for the one that didn't make it. So I know that there are a lot of economists in the room and very clever Russian people. I know Russians a bit, good chess players and good analytical thinkers. I got 5 minutes only, that's okay, then I have to really speed up. So my colleagues warned me that I wouldn't put this on. Cleantech is a hedge against inflation, but I think it is. And that is for a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm showing this graph already for quite some time, and everybody knows by now that solar prices are really going down, thanks to the Germans in a way. I think because of the feed-in tariff, they really started the business. And every half year, when we talk about it, prices are even lower than we expected. It is a kind of a Moore's law, when you compare to chip industry, prices are going down. But so that's one thing against inflation and an opportunity. But the good thing about this business is, and I know that there are a couple of infrastructure investors in the room, that once you have invested in a solar panel, you have a stable price for the next 20 years. So it is, I think, a hedge against inflation to invest in it now. Similar calculations you can make for energy efficiency. In the beginning, I showed you the building. That building consumes €2 per square meter of energy. Normally, it's about 20. So if energy prices go up in energy efficient buildings, you have less problem with inflation. So maybe Dieter can challenge me on that over lunch as well. So one day, carbon emissions will be taxed properly. Thanks for Mr. Rifkin, who had a very inspiring first session to me. I will keep this very short, but because I think he can talk much more about it this evening. But at the moment, the carbon emissions are not taxed properly, is my statement, because I think it's not a level playing field. I don't make that 2 minutes. I need a little bit more. Sorry. It's not a level playing field because I think global warming is an issue, like Mr. Rifkin said this morning. And what I think, when I have all kinds of discussions about global warming, is it really true? Is it Mr. Gore making a politics show or whatever? I always say, if there's a 10% chance that your house goes on fire, why won't you not? You will take an insurance, right? So I think governments will understand that the risk is so big that they have to take an insurance, so they will take action. Doesn't mean that we invest in companies that are dependent on carbon emission, because there are a lot of businesses already that make money and reduce carbon emission. I will not go into details about businesses. That will be done by Casper this afternoon. I think Mr. Rifkin will also talk about that this evening. I think it is really a paradigm shift what's happening, and we are in the middle of it. For example, Denmark already went through that paradigm shift. They went through from a centralized system to an almost decentralized energy generation system over a period of what is it, 30 years, or it was, I think, even quicker. This was partly done with government support. What we see now is it's done by businesses we are in. Because many companies are profitable, people put solar panels on the roofs, etc. So it will move to a decentralized system, and that gives a lot of opportunities, smart grid, etc., etc. And you see that the investment in renewable energy is almost all taking over the fossil fuel. So it is really happening. Now, this is, I think, an important point. It has a little bit to do with the way we do business for many years, the way we look at ourselves, and also in life. I think Robert John has an important thing mentioned about capturing value in the short run. A lot of people in venture capital try to make business using the ICT approach, grabbing money, grabbing markets, putting in money. We do it differently. We believe in building management teams that do proper management and make profit after we have invested. So during our investment round, the company has to go to a cash flow positive situation. We don't want to push the money to grab the market, because the market is different. We are not creating Googles. We are creating companies that solve solutions of people who need energy. Energy is not a hype. Energy is a thing you need first. It's one of your primary needs. So there are many, many solutions, and it takes time to develop the companies. So we go step by step. We do lean venturing. We did it with our own money, and we are going to do it now big scale with the support of the Tatars and hopefully one of you. Now this is just, we can skip this. Just quickly, Europe, there is a strong base for innovation. There are a lot of opportunities in Europe for innovation. We have good universities. We have a lot of companies that even don't know that they are innovative, that they don't know that they are clean tech companies. I've acquired 5 companies that were involved in installation business, just regular installation business. We transformed them to installation business engineers for sustainable energy. That means better margins and higher multiples on EBITDA, because all of a sudden we are a Cleantech company. This is where we focus on, with a strong focus on Benelux and Europe, Benelux and Germany. We want to be close to the companies. That's what we always did, also even in Russia where we lived. Now, very quickly, good entry valuation are possible. Everybody knows there is a lack of finance. We see that the investment goes down. We know that other funds have a lack of finance, so there are possibilities to step in the growth phase and do good, to step in at good valuations. Okay, this is where Jochem would take over, but I will do it shortly. Now, this is the event where Mr. Sorokin and Jochem signed the agreement last year. This, of course, gives us the opportunity to really make it a big fund, and that not many of our competing or colleague investors have that opportunity at the moment. To sum up, just to repeat what Jochem said in the beginning, the unique thing about the team we have, on top of that, we have the Tatar link, we have launching customers in a very interesting area. We can produce on very good conditions in Alubaga, for example. And we have the two preferred return granted by Tatarstan. So I think join us, I would say.